This is Ricoh GR3X review, part 2. First thing I like about the Ricoh GR3X is snap focus distance mode. This mode I think is more of a game changer than snap shooting. Snap shooting is pressing the shutter all the way without half pressing it. The camera will shoot at the snap distance. It is good because you can mix regular shooting with snap shooting. If you want regular shooting, then you half press it, and if you want snap shooting, then you full press it. But Ricoh GR3X being so small and light, sometimes fully pressing it right away results in a camera shake. But with snap focus distance mode, the camera will always shoot at the snap distance. Half press or full press, it doesn't matter. If you're out on a sunny day and have your f-stop at f11 to f16 and snap distance at 1.5 meters, it will have 1 meter to 5 meters in focus. Shooting like this will be faster than any autofocus camera. This makes the Ricoh GR3X the quickest focusing camera. I was shooting like this on my photo shoot at a very crowded market. It resulted in having every subject in focus with lots of layers. So if you are a GR3X owner, try out the snap focus distance mode. It will turn your camera into an ultimate snap machine. I have this function set to ISO button. Just go to Menu, Custom, FN button setting, and set snap at ISO button. I can easily get into snap focus distance mode by pressing ISO button and also come out of it if I want to shoot it in regular mode. It also conveniently shows which range you are in focus. Next thing I like about this camera is Ricoh Recipe's JPEG. There are so many Ricoh recipes to choose from, all from Ricoh Recipes app or from YouTubers. Or you can use unadjusted positive or negative film simulation because it is great straight out the box. Using Ricoh Recipe JPEG has 4 benefits. First, it forces you to get it right in camera. As you may know already, JPEG has less leeway when it comes to post-editing. This means that you have to be more accurate in terms of your exposure when you are out shooting because there are less data to be retrieved. However, JPEG from modern cameras have lots of information, so you still do have room for error. JPEG in this regard is best of both worlds. It gets you to practice getting it right in camera while still having some safety net if you were not to get it perfectly right. Second, Ricoh Recipe JPEG offers consistency in the looks of your photos. Consistency in the style of your photos help you build an identity and a brand. Even if you're out shooting for hobby or just Instagram, maintaining consistent look makes your work easily identifiable and look more professional. With RAW files, achieving consistency can be very challenging as each image requires different adjustments based on factors such as exposure, white balance, and color rendition. Next is JPEG saves storage space. If you shoot almost every day like myself, the storage space of your hard drive will fill up very quickly, and this leads directly to money spent on gear. I am already on my 3rd external hard drive and many SD cards because I go on long vacations and I shoot on daily basis. By shooting JPEGs, you can save money and storage space. Lastly, JPEGs will save you time in editing. Shooting with JPEGs will save you time in editing because you can use straight out the camera images, or just use bare minimum editing. This will make your photography more enjoyable because you'll be out shooting more photos than editing them in post. Ricoh having lots of Ricoh recipes to choose from and having high quality JPEG is a major bonus. Next thing that I like about the Ricoh GR3X is its image quality and focal length. Despite the small size, this camera has 24 megapixel APS-C sensor and a 26mm lens that is tack sharp with great dynamic range. The 40mm equivalent lens is not only great for street photography, it is a very versatile lens for other genres of photography as well, because it is what you would call a normal focal length. I know many photographers nowadays are not pixel peepers, but if you check out some of the head-to-head comparison video, the Ricoh GR3X has sharper image compared to the Fuji's X100 series, even the latest X106. So although it is not a full-frame camera, and not 40 megapixels like the X106, I don't think you're giving up a lot of quality at all. And this equates to more leeway when cropping or just editing your photos. I have used the 50mm crop mode in this camera and it does not compromise the image quality by much. Additionally, the camera's low light performance is really good. I am more of a night photography guy than a bright sunny day photography guy, so I would know. Color rendition is another area where the Ricoh GR3x shines. I just love the Ricoh color science even without Ricoh Recipe. Its vibrant hues straight out the camera are beautiful. I do use the straight out of camera JPEGs from time to time, but most times I prefer just minimal raw edits where I adjust the exposure and be done with it. I got this camera because of the pocketable size and the 40mm equivalent lens. I am not much of a wide angle focal length kind of guy. I shot with a 50mm lens when I shot film for 4 years. I got used to that. So wide angle lens photos feel too wide and feels like there's too much distance and disconnection between me and the subjects unless it was shot really close to the subjects. To my knowledge, GR3x is the least wide fixed focal length camera out there at 40mm equivalent focal length. Most cameras have 28 to 35mm focal length. So if you're in the market for a fixed lens camera and are not into wide angle lens, this will be a perfect choice. Next is the shooting experience. I think this could go either way. It could be a positive or it could be a negative. The shooting experience of this camera is different to other cameras. It is more about being stealthy, not getting in the way, and shooting and getting the job done without anyone noticing, rather than the classic camera experience with the viewfinder, aperture, and shutter speed controls. I feel that this camera is more about the end result than how you get there. I don't know how this will sit with many other photographers, but being free from the traditional camera shooting experience and being able to get a shot that you can't with a larger camera is a good trade-off in my books. But this could swing the other way as well. If you are all about the shooting experience and this GR is your only camera, then you might not be satisfied with the shooting experience. But just so you know, it has helped me film a lot of the episodes on my channel because it was so stealthy and I was unnoticed by people around me. Next is the ergonomics. Front wheel to adjust aperture and back wheel to adjust exposure compensation, and adjustment button for adjusting shutter speed. The way it sits in my hands, I really like the ergonomics, but I do have small hands. So I can imagine for people with larger hands having difficulties with the ergonomics. Now that I've gone through the positive, let's go through the negatives of this camera. First is the limited video capabilities. It is almost a compliment to say it has limited video quality because the video quality is close to unusable in my opinion. It says it's 1080p, but it looks much worse than that for some reason. The part that makes it bad is its really bad focusing. I had to throw away lots of B-rolls because I ended up with lots of out-of-focus low quality video clips. You wouldn't be able to film moving subjects, and even on static shots, it will randomly wobble to find the focusing spot. When I am out with my Sony camera, I am covered in terms of both video and photos. And I don't own one, but it will be the same for the X100 series. In the reviews, I saw that the X100 or 6 has a very capable video quality. So for someone who makes YouTube videos like myself, I have to have a DJI action cam with me or use my phone to make a video content that is usable for YouTube. I think having a good video capability and having weather sealing will truly make this a perfect camera for me. And having those two for GR4X would be the ultimate wish list. Those two will be the only reason I would upgrade to the GR4 if it ever came out. Anyways, having a camera that totally lacks video capabilities is a real downer for me. Next is no viewfinder or tilt screen. I can do all sorts of maneuvers one-handed because the Ricoh is so small. But the lack of tilt screen makes it a bit less accurate when I'm shooting like this or shooting from the hip. And shooting with the LCD screen is fine most of the time, but I am one of those guys who think that nothing beats a good viewfinder. When it is nice and sunny out, the LCD screen is not bright enough to provide a good view. Add this to the non-articulating screen, it makes it a bit difficult in really bright situations, which is a bummer because Nice sunny days are probably the best condition to shoot for most people. Next is low light autofocus. Low light autofocus is pretty slow on this camera. So slow that I would actually recommend you get yourself familiar with snap focus, because it is what I use extensively when shooting at night for quick snaps. However, if you shoot at night, you have to have lower aperture, and in turn, it makes your focus area very shallow. So it is difficult to focus accurately with snap focus. So what I do is just have my snap distance at infinity and have my actual subjects as foreground and have the background in focus. I think this makes a cool look with a layering effect because your subject is a big foreground. And I like this look, but you do need a photogenic background to pull this off. And if you don't like this look, then you have to master snap shooting. But this is coming from a person who used this camera very frequently for the past 2 years. So I cannot expect someone who just got this camera to keep using it frequently and really master the snap distance at night. In Seoul, South Korea, the night is brightly lit. So it is not as bad as some other cities around the world. But it is not difficult to see the GR3X struggle with low light focusing, sometimes in the daytime indoors too. Finally, the price. With the HDF version now available, the price is really steep. $1,150 US, and even higher in some countries like South Korea, where it costs $1,365. I mean, this is really steep. I know that cameras in general are being overcharged these days, but this is getting out of hand. While it is an advantage that it looks very unassuming, it does not look like an expensive camera or has very cool design. Of course, all of that to me is forgiven by the small size, but come on. I am eagerly waiting on the GR4X because I wanted to have weather sealing and video capabilities, but I am already scared of what the price of it might be. And the accessories like the viewfinder is really expensive. And it does not come with a charger, so you have to buy that one separately, which is ridiculous. Now that I have gone through everything, I want to get into another popular issue, the mythical dust issue. I am a member of 2 internet Ricoh GR forums. New members of those forums and people overseas talk frequently about the dust issue. I assume that those are from people looking to buy the GR3. Whenever Ricoh is in topic, people say that they want the dust issue to be solved first so they can get the camera. When you go on the GR3X review comment section, it is not too hard to find a comment about it and how it is steering them away from buying it. But I have actually never seen anyone come out and say they are having major issues with the dust on the Ricoh GR3X. I did a quick research on an American forum too, and they seem to all think that the dust issue will be similar to any other fixed lens camera out there. So if that is the only reason stopping you from getting this camera, then please just go ahead and get it, because I have yet to see someone who actually has this as one of their major issues with this camera. An actual issue might be using this camera in pouring rain, because I do that often. And it sometimes freezes the camera. So when it is pouring and humid out, do not use this camera. It does not have a dust issue, it has a rain and humidity issue. I had the lens not retracting and freezing once last year. And a few days ago, the camera turned off and it wouldn't turn on for maybe 30 seconds. So I went over all the points that I haven't touched on my first review of the Ricoh GR3X. Please check out my first review of the Ricoh GR3X as well, because all the points I go over are different from what I go over in this review. If there is anything you would like to add to the list, please let me know in the comments. And if you like this review, then please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. That is all for today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.